talking about conspiracies a lot, or you tie them in, which ones do you actually believe in?
If I'm saying it, I believe in almost all of them. You know, I might be saying something cute about flat Earth, but I'll let the other fucking people take care of that one. Almost everything I like, for instance, John F. Kennedy, born on the 29th, he's a 7th life path, born in the year of the snake. Those type of energies basically tell me he would be into numerology and astrology. What makes me know he was into numerology and astrology was the fact that he signed Executive Order 11110. Again, think about it. 1111 110. He waited to that executive order. He signed it at 6/4/1963. 6/4/1963 as of the 29/2/9/11. So he signed an executive order 1111 on an 11 day. He's born on the 29/2/9/11, and that stripped the Federal Reserve of the power to print money. He did that. What happened to him 6 months later?
He died.
He died. And Lyndon Johnson, the guy who replaced him, before the body was even cold, his first act as president, repeal Executive Order 11110. Give the Fed back their power. So, again, man, is that a conspiracy? No, that's fact. How do you deny that? You have to be an absolute fucking moron. You want more fact? Okay, John F. Kennedy, born in the year of the snake, 1917. Who was his biggest enemy? CIA. CIA was founded 1947, year of the pig. Who killed his ass? CIA. George W. Bush got some fucking mobsters who they thought were working with the CIA, but they ended up being patsies. The CIA used mobsters as patsies to kill the fucking president. They thought they were taking the shot when an actual person within the CIA was taking the shot. Look at the video when John F. Kennedy gets shot. The Secret Service agent in his detail gets called off. And he doesn't understand what's going on. They call him off. At that time, who controlled the Secret Service? It's not true anymore, but at that time, it was run by the Treasury Department. Treasury, money, Fed. The Fed controlled the Secret Service. And they killed him at Dallas, right by a Masonic temple. Interesting how that works. So again, people want to say that it's a conspiracy. I say you're out your fucking mind. That shit's real.
And when it comes to like public schooling, regular education, did you enjoy it? Did you perform well? Did you
no, I actually did not perform well in public schools. I thought the teachers were trying to dumb me down. Example, like in 4th and 5th grade, I remember they used to always tell me, show your math work, show your, multiplication, show your division, show all that stuff. I can do that stuff in my head. Why do I need to slow this stuff down? And I remember they failed me. I got all their answers right, but I didn't show my work, so they're trying to say I copied. So I stayed after school. They gave me the same test. I didn't show the work, and I got all the answers right again. And at that point, I realized the public school system is there to hold down people. Why would they want someone who's operating at a higher level, at a higher frequency, to come down? Why would they not encourage that type of behavior? So again, I was very young when I realized that. I mean, even when I was 13, I remember watching Bill Clinton lie to the American people. And, look at this. I was always watching the State of the Union at 13, 14. Other kids are playing video games. I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, wow, this guy's a really good liar. And other people got to know he's lying too. But, up and down the applause. So, even he taught me something. That if you're really, really good at something and you can't really show anything, you could be a politician and just lie. So, they called him Slick Willie?
I've heard the term, but I never knew what it meant.
Yeah. It is what it is. Bill Clinton is the bastard child of the Rockefellers. And that's why he keeps losing to Obama, who's connected with the Rothschilds. And Rothschilds here, Rockefellers here. And if you don't know how that works, in 2000, when Chase Manhattan merged with JP Morgan, That was basically the Rockefellers bending the knee to the Rothschilds, because that was the Rockefellers bank, and they merged and then became Chase, which is the Rothschilds bank. So again, you got to know these people who run the world, they're like gangsters, right? And they'll fight amongst themselves, but if anyone tries to damage their core game, oh, they're coming for you. They all come together and then they holler at you.
When was the first time that you came across any type of astrology, numerology, and did it pique your interest?
Chinese restaurant.
What age?
Fuck, dude. I don't remember the age, but I remember knowing I'm a Capricorn and liking it. Didn't know why. I know I liked it. And as I studied, further, and as I got older, I remember a lot of Roman history was one of my first loves, and a lot of Roman emperors who happened to be Capricorns put Capricorn in the back of the money. So it tells you something. Some people are very proud of their skin color, even though they had nothing to do with it. Some people are very proud of having daddy's money, even though they had nothing to do with it. Some people are proud of their astrology sign. Voila.
And when did you start to delve deeper into researching this stuff and understanding?
9/11. 9/11, by far. Before that, I knew enough not to trust the government. I knew that much. But I didn't think anything of, McDonald's having a big M and them symbolizing the big M. I didn't think that was a big deal. Why would I? Or Marathon gas station or M&M's candy. I didn't think that was a big deal. Why would I? As I, started looking into numerology, I understood that M is 13, and that signifies homage to the 13 bloodline illuminating families. It's all over the place. Go on your computers and put in all the movies that start with 13. 13 Warriors, 13 Ghosts. It's like fucking 30 of them. Then start looking at Ladder 49 or 6 Days, 7 Nights. This shit's a joke. I already mentioned the sports teams, the 76ers, 7-6, 13, 49ers. So it's all over if you look at it. And the system that's always in the court system, always in religion, always in astrology, it's all the same. It's 12 plus 1. 12 jurors, 1 judge, legally. Religious, Jesus, 12 apostles. Astrology, sun, 12 signs. Come on, it's everywhere. What do you think, this is a coincidence? And if you understand, if you have enough up here, which I don't think you have to have much, but if you have enough up here to understand this is not a coincidence, that tells you people who know a lot more than you, if you're going to be honest with yourself, are actually using this stuff. Start asking yourself why, start getting curious, and then things might start coming together for you.
A lot of weird coincidences, but
very interesting.
But I did want to ask you real quick, because I've been hearing this. Did you know that on the Titanic, there were the richest man in America was on there, and a bunch of people that basically were opposing the Federal Reserve?
I didn't know that.
The Titanic was an inside job.
Yes, it was. So what happened was the Titanic was basically sunk in 1912 because a guy by the name of Mr. Uster, who was against the Federal Reserve, he owned 40% of the mortgages. Could you imagine what kind of gangster you have to be? Like
Mr. Monopoly.
Yeah, the type of gangster you have to be to own 40% of all the mortgages in the United States of America. So this is no good guy. This is a gangster, okay?
Yeah.
But he was such a important, such a strong figure that the Rothschilds just couldn't put an axe into him, couldn't put a bullet in him. They got to start a war.
Yeah.
So they can't do that. So they built a ship, and they made sure all the most important people were on this ship. And at the very, very last minute, J.P. Morgan and all of those guys exited the ship. The ship sinks. Mr. Ustin basically dies. All the money that he was funding the politicians on the other side dries up. All of a sudden, the politicians run to the other side. 1913, they go to Jekyll Island. They finish the deal. The Federal Reserve is basically born. And the guy who signs the Federal Reserve into power, Woodrow Wilson, was born on the 28th. So
Wow.
they did everything on purpose, and the Federal Reserve, after they got the Federal Reserve in 1913, now they had the money they needed to start World War I in 1914. So it goes from this: Titanic, Fed, World War One, and World War One leads to World War II. So again, all of Europe, everything was decided by what would happen on that ship. But most people don't know that.
I've never heard of this before.
Most people just know.
And I know a lot about these conspiracy things. I've never heard this.
Most people don't know about this, but they know that Leonardo DiCaprio was on the Titanic.
Yep.
They know that part.
That was the real story, right?
That was the real story. Let me tell you something. Titanic, I will admit this as a guy, even if it makes me seem soft. I will admit the first movie I ever cried in was Titanic. I will admit this. And I'm going to tell you the part I started crying. At the very end, when this broad had that $10 million gem and she threw it in the ocean, I started crying, okay? That's what got me. Like, damn, girl, for real? It is what it is.